a few years, actually. And in year one, she asked for very little money because it's going to take longer to get the project going. We generally don't go beyond 3 years, and we, 2 years, 3 years is our comfort zone. We do a lot of one-year projects, and we will work though with you on the timetable for your project to reflect the drawdown of the money.
When making your decision in funding, is there any preference for Dade County over Broward, or you're just blind as far as?
There's no preference. We're just, one of the things that people forget, I think, is that, and I'll say it again, this is an idea contest. Good ideas can come from anywhere, but we're really focused on the quality of the idea. Broward has won a number of Knight Arts Challenge grants every year, and they've won multiple times every year. So I don't think there's any geographic preference. We're a Miami-based institution, but we've consciously announced that Broward is eligible to participate in the challenge.
If you've gotten a grant, how do you draw down the funds once you've been granted?
Once we tell you that you're a winner, we'll have a big party, November 30th last year, and then as you match, we will advance you funds against the funds that you match. Does that sound right?
Sounds right.
Okay, good.
Are all the ideas posted on the website, the actual ones?
No. We made a conscious decision, because some people feel very proprietary about their ideas, and so we made a conscious decision not to list all the ideas. Of the 1,600 ideas, with only 20 winners. And the other thing that's interesting is a lot of the ideas, people, once they apply, it kind of gets their creative juices flowing. And we've seen a number of really good ideas get done without our help. Although we like to think that simply the contest itself was enough of a help to get people incentivized to go forward and with their ideas. So we don't post the ideas on the site. We do post the finalists on the site. I think last year we had 45 finalists. Resulting in 20 winners. And the year before, how many finalists had the year before?
79.
79 with 31 winners. So the finalists were available on the site, so you could see what people were thinking about and to become a finalist is a big deal because let's face it, that's a pretty big cut from 1,600 to 70 or 40.
Is there any organization that did get funded but weren't able to match it in the first 2 years?
There was one organization that did get funded and was not able to match it at this point. And they elected to simply return the dollars to us, and we put them back in the pool, and we're using them for the next 3 years of the challenge. Please?
What's the scenario between becoming a finalist and becoming a winner?
That's a good question. Sure. So you'll put in your application, and we will go through the applications, the 2,000 or so that will come in. And then we will sit down with what we call our readers group, and they're anonymous readers, unless they like to be disclosed at the end of the year after their duties are done, so that nobody will bug them, frankly. And we will review, believe it or not, we'll all read all the applications. And from that, we will make an announcement. Do you know when? Do you have your calendar?
The applicants, you'll find out the result of your application by April 28th, and it will be by email that you'll find out.
So we make that announcement, and let's assume we have 40 finalists. Those finalists are invited to submit a full proposal. Because you got to remember, we're just picking ideas. We only have 150 words. So we'll sit down with those finalists, and we'll ask them to submit a full proposal, and that will include budget and a fleshing out of the idea and how they're going to do it and where they're going to do it and if it's possible and those kind of things. So that's when as Naomi said, the 150 words is easy. The proposal part is pretty hard, as some of the people here who were finalists know.
Can people apply with more than one idea?
People can apply with more than one idea. We suggest, you can submit as many ideas as you want, but we suggest that you probably don't have 14 best ideas. So although some people continue every year to submit 10, 12, 14, and I can tell that it's like 1 in the morning when they do it. I can just feel it. So, but yeah, no, there was one organization last year that submitted 14 ideas. Now, do you want to ask me if they were successful or not?
Yes.
Okay. No, they weren't. So I'm not against multiple ideas. I'm against not really sitting down and saying which of these ideas is really my best idea. And you know, you've said this before, so talk about ask your friends and I mean, tell people about, you know, when you sit down and write your idea, how do you try it out on people?
Right, so just talk to your friends about it, because sometimes you have in your head all of these great ideas and your imagination is going crazy, and talk to your friend about it, because it might be that when you actually speak it out loud, that person will look at you like you're crazy. Because they're like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. But in your head, so it's a good idea to shop it around a little bit before submitting. And it's good to submit 2, 3, 4 of your best ideas, because
One's good too. I like one.
he's the man.
Yes.
How long is the period between becoming a finalist and submitting the proposal?
It's about 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks, I think, is what we've got it down to. So it's about 3 weeks, because then we get the proposals, and we then, actually our work starts then, the hard work, other than reading the 2,000 ideas, but that's when we really sit down with each and every finalist and kind of grind on the idea a little bit. Can you really do this? You know, is it possible to, you know, rebuild the Hindenburg dirigible? You know, I mean, that's like, you know, we get some things like that. We get excited sometimes too. And people have ideas and go, wow, that's a great idea. I said, but nobody could do this. So, you know, we want your ideas to be possible. That's really what it comes down to.
Can I ask you, what percentage of the ideas that have been chosen in the past were attached to a major organization that was already established, as opposed to people with an individual idea that,
Yeah. You know, it's not a bell curve. It's more like a barbell, where you've got a significant amount of ideas, certainly, that come from the guys that get up every day and go to work and have staffs and development departments and program departments and all that. There's no question that the people in our community, Michael, what do you call a major?
Well, the biggest one, major cultural
Yeah,
institutions,
so-
but they're all nonprofit
Yeah,
cultural.
yeah. Major cultural institutions certainly have good ideas. But we made a conscious effort to make sure that when there's a very good idea, and it's just one person, like Naomi or Jean or Lolo, you know, those people win too. So it's, you know, it really is a balance. I think that is anybody here from the opera? Either opera? Okay, I'm going to tell the story then. Because if somebody was here, I couldn't tell you. So you know, you got to remember, it's an idea contest. So some of the major cultural institutions are used to kind of just saying, oh, they're giving away money. You know, I'll just back the truck up and you fill it up because I'm a major cultural institution. So at the end of the first year, a very young upstart opera company called the Miami Lyric Opera won an Night Arts Challenge grant. And the Florida Grand Opera was like, how could this happen? We've been here 75 years, you know. And we said, well, look, your idea really was give us money. That's probably not a great idea. So they turned around the second year and came in and came up with a great idea, which we funded, which is free Carmen. They're going to do a performance of Carmen in April for free.